And Joe C. was talking about that lady. We have another one that we might have a player, Kinzie Hansen, put into a statue at some point. But right now, it's the coach's turn. Were you surprised, Patty?
I was floored, had no idea. We were just celebrating and just came. I wasn't expecting it. I was listening, but kind of paying attention to the crowd. And when I heard that, I just, I had no idea, and quite an unbelievable honor, really.
I want to start with, I thought the best soundbite after it was all said and done was when you came out and said, I was exhausted. This was just a mental grind. Can you comment on that? And I want to know about you guys, and maybe you can answer this first. Did you know that it was that exhausting, and was it for you at the same time? The streak and the pressure.
Yes, absolutely. I know that we had several team conversations with the coaches about just the expectations and the pressure that was placed upon us, not only by each other and within ourselves, because as competitors, that's something that you have within yourself, but also from the outside world, and being able to navigate that, with each other and united as well as with the coaches is something that we worked very hard on, and it ended up paying off for us.
Suffocating.
Everybody's talking about us so much, and some of it's positive, some of it's negative, and it just can really overtake you if you let it. But we knew we had a really good team, and then people are talking about the win streak, and I would not talk to them about it. And I'm certain they probably knew about it, but we didn't really address it much. Maybe one time right before we were playing Clemson, when it was a chance to do it. It was more about the importance of getting to the World Series and staying one game at a time. And you really have to stay in the moment, or all of this stuff will just take you down. And I think this team did such a good job of sticking together and staying focused, but the expectations are overwhelming, and it is exhausting. I know I felt it, I know they did, but we knew we were doing it kind of together, and that's what we really did a good job of, sticking together and not allowing the outside world to get in on our circle.
Kinzie, tell us about the coach, because it seems from the outside that she does a marvelous job of molding you as young women, be it in a spiritual realm, but really more from an analytics, X's and O's, but it bleeds over into your life.
Absolutely. I know that a lot of us come from all over the country, leaving our families and leaving our mothers that we've obviously grown up with. So Coach Gasso does an amazing job of just embracing us for who we are and not trying to change us to fit a mold that's pre-made. She embraces us for who we are and allows us to embrace who we are ourselves in order to, walk hand in hand through the challenges of the season, which I think is super special about her, is that she loves us with all of her heart. And that in itself, when you see, as a mother, I'm sure when you watch your kids go through that can be exhausting in itself. So when she has her own expectations and her own pressure, and we see those as well, but then at the same time, she has to essentially take care of us and be our protector and our provider and things like that, that kind of adds to her plate as well. So we do our best to handle our share as well, just so that we can kind of, like I said, walk hand in hand, not only as a team, but with the coaches as well.
Kinzie, if you want to see someone who's been successful from the very beginning, and life's not perfect, you've had some setbacks, we all do, but from the time this girl was 10 years old, just look back at her history. It's unbelievable. Patty, I got to ask you, when did you start recruiting out in Norco, California? Because this girl was a stud way back when.
Well, way back when, we were able to start recruiting 8th graders, and I remember watching Kinzie behind the plate, and she was much taller than everyone else and just was made to be a catcher, and watched her, and her leadership was something that really stuck out to me, and her arm was tremendously strong. And just her ability to lead, it really, really attracted me, and I kind of followed them around. She knows. I got to know her. Her brother was hanging around a little bit, so I would watch him from afar playing with all the other kids on her team, their siblings, and just followed Kinzie and some other kids on that team, but that was one I knew I really had to work hard to go get this one.
It was 8th grade?
I think so.
Or somewhere around there?
8th or 9th.
Actually,
was it earlier?
I committed in 8th grade, but it was November of 2014 when I committed. I'll never forget it.
By the way, the brother is, at this point, headed to Oklahoma. Got another year in baseball, I guess, out in Norco, and then coming over to play. Patty, I asked you right after the game, best team ever, and you kind of waffled, and then you said, yeah, I think so. But isn't the bottom line at the end of the day, the bottom line, and that was a 61, I mean, you didn't lose but one game.
Yeah, and I think they could all look back. They remember the wins, but they remember that loss, and that changed our world. So I'm going to say, like, it was such a really complete team. It just really was an exceptional team from top to bottom. And people on the bench, when I bring them in, they execute. Pitching staff, loaded. Like, I just don't know. If we had any weakness, it might have been our speed. But when you're hitting balls over the fence or off the wall, that means so much. But defense was just exceptional. It was just a complete, athletic, exceptional team. And, you know, I've learned a lot about when you have an exceptional team, people don't want to accept it. And those who really understand the sport and enjoy the sport should really understand how hard it is, but really appreciate what we have.
Yeah.
Because it's a small window that you can make a team great and stay there. It's a small window because unlike pros, these guys graduate, they move on. So they have set a standard that the country, some have looked at and went right on, and some are like, something's not right there, you know? And I'm like, geez, okay, let's deal with, I'm not dealing with that because I know, she knows, we know what we're doing is good enough to win, and we're doing it the right way.
Not many times you fell behind, although you did have you had a lot of come from behind wins. But I think many Sooner fans, like I am, will remember maybe more than anything the clutch runs that were produced in the latter innings, and your home run, a 3-run jack, wasn't it, against Clemson in the second game, and it looked like you guys were on the ropes. Walk us through that.
Truthfully, I was praying in the on-deck circle. I was putting on my stuff to go up to bat, and I just remember the unwavering belief in the dugout that we were going to get it done. There wasn't a shadow of a doubt from the coaches or my teammates, no matter who was up to bat, no matter if anybody was in an 0-2 count down to our last strike. That's something that was so special about this team, is that we knew that our strength came from the Lord and that is unwavering, but we also knew that our belief in each other was unwavering, regardless of the situation. And we just weren't afraid to lose because we knew that if we came out the next day that we were going to get it done that day as well. So I think that being able to be fearless in what we were doing and having the confidence of our approach is like that combo together was just what made us unstoppable in that moment.
What about this battery mate, Jordy Ball, something else? I don't know if she did anything, it could have done any better in the Women's College World Series, if you think about it.
She did really well.
Pinch ran a couple of times.
Yeah,
scored.
That was fun because it brings a little momentum to the team. But I think, you know, I was really proud of Alex Storako and how she set up Jordy, and Nicole May and how she set up Jordy. I mean, it was a complete pitching staff, and I'm really excited about Nicole May and her growth, but I'm really excited about Kirsten Deal, KD, who is a freshman and a lefty and didn't get a ton of opportunity, but she has grown so much, and I think she's going to be a major part of this pitching staff next year. Yeah,
and with you returning, that's one less that a lot of us were thinking you had to replace. Pretty loaded coming back.
I know that.
Are you ready to start talking about 2024?
Actually, I know that you asked me this a few days ago, and I said, let's just enjoy this one before we start looking ahead at the next one. But being able to finally absorb what we did this past year and kind of look ahead at what's to come, I'm super excited to work with a whole completely different pitching staff with new recruits and just things like that. Just being able to share my experience and share the knowledge of the game that I've built with Coach Gasso the past few years, knowing that the new leadership roles that people are stepping into, and just the new camaraderie that we're able to build. I think that that's going to be very tremendous, and I'm super excited to see that where the 2024 team leads with that.
Patty, it sounds like the criticism, the people that are just unhappy people out there that are looking for something, that thought you celebrated too much and didn't like you winning as much, and it really got me when I started hearing that a lot of some of the reporters from out of state thinking Patty Gasso, she's not really, is she a good lady or not? Did you take this stuff to the team, or did you try to fly above it?
Fly above it, because they don't deserve my attention or the team's attention. They don't. The one thing that I know is when this team celebrates, it's real. And the word we used was unapologetic. And I think I said it one time and it just went everywhere, that word. But that is the truth. They enjoy, they love an 0-2 battle that turns into a walk. It's a big deal, and it's something that we know at practice. Everything that you see, we've worked on at practice. So when it shows in a game, it's a celebration. And when somebody lays down a bunt, moves a runner in scoring position, that's a big deal for us. That's a celebration. A ball off the wall when we're down by a run to tie the game is a celebration. It's not fake, it's real emotion. And you see it all over sport in all male sports. Why would it be so discerning for anyone to see a female do it? I don't know, and I don't care, because they have a blast, I have a blast, Sooner fans have a blast, and that's about all we care about. And if you others want to come along and you know, they're unapologetic about their faith, they're unapologetic about what their stances are. And that's the right of any person in America.
Yeah.
So if you like it, you do. If you don't, it's your right not to. But we don't spend a lot of time on that. It's just, it's petty stuff. And it's too beautiful to watch this stuff. That's good.
We don't get the inside from players talking about other players a lot. I'm just going to throw a name out there because this person is sensational also. Grace Lyons is going to be gone, but the best shortstop probably you've ever seen, and the game may have ever seen, but probably a better person. Tell them something about Grace Lyons they may not know.
Something about Grace Lyons that I love is just her unwavering faith in the Lord and her ability to share that with other people, not verbally, but through her actions. I know that her love, not only for the game, but for him, was super special. And being able to just, as another woman and sister in Christ, being able to feel that with her day to day through the way that she spoke to other people and the way that she went about her life was just something that I admired a lot, working with her through practice and games.
Any player out there that you think maybe got overlooked? Because when you have a team that is this loaded, sometimes great people, great stars don't get the recognition that they maybe should have.
Alyssa Brito did not make first or second honorable mention anything Big 12, but is a first team All-American. So try to comprehend that. There's big names, and for good reason, Hansen, Ball, and Jada, and so Tiare. Brito Alyssa Brito and Riley Boone. Riley Boone has really elevated her game, and she's in the 9-hole and she starts the party and hands it to Jada. And I think we all know when that gets started, we're going to score. We all feel that. Alyssa Brito has been just quietly so clutch for this team and timely and just so explosive with not just her bat, but her personality is one of those that's really fires up the team. And she's kind of quietly recognized, but just not as one of the big names. And to me, those two have really gone to another level this season.
Couple of last ones. What do you think you're going to do after you finish playing?
I think that I'm going to end up coaching. Hopefully I can get into the coaching world and get my feet wet over there, but truthfully I'd love to play for a long time, hopefully in the pro league and hopefully with luck and some hard work, I'll be able to represent the USA team and continue to do that as I've played with them in the past summer. But I know that hopefully Coach Gasso I'm stay in her good graces after I'm done playing, and I get to work with her a little bit or some other great coach down the line.
Patty, when you see people like this, people say, I get it now. I understand how Patty and the program's done so well.
I am blessed beyond all measure with just great young women, girls who turned into women, who are representing the sport and taking it to new heights through their faith, through their passion for the game. Makes it fun to watch. People are tuning in because we can stay in that 2-hour, 15-minute window. And there's a lot of sounds. Girls have been cheering since they've been in T-ball, and they're in college, and they're still cheering. And they're passionate, and it's fun, and it's fast. And these are elite athletes. These are elite athletes, and I am blessed to see it every single day. It's a blast.
And oh, by the way, she's hitting the recruiting trail, so it is almost 365. Ladies, congratulations. You've taken the city, the state, the country in large part by storm, and you're to be commended.
Thank you very much.
And thanks for coming.
Thank you.
Of course, thanks.